Alright, so I want this video to be about. So I was thinking about how the shamanic experience, or like, I have shamanic experiences with certain things, and not all of those things are psychedelic. So, like, I was thinking about the fact that for me, it's about the shamanic experience, not just the psychedelic experience, in that the psychedelic experience can be the shamanic experience, but not every shamanic experience is the psychedelic experience. So don't mind me. I'm dying from this dab I hit. But I just kind of want to break this down because I was thinking about the fact that I've had shamanic experiences with Motherwort. I've had shamanic experiences with Blue Lotus. I've had shamanic experiences with wild lettuce. I've had shamanic experiences with cannabis. I've had shamanic experiences with wild daga. I've had shamanic experiences with canna, Scledium totorsum. But I was sitting here and I'm getting right after this video. I'm gonna brew up some motherwort. I got this motherwort right here. This is about 60 dried grams. And this motherwort is like really weak, so like that's why I gotta brew 60 grams. But I was thinking about how so in this video I'm gonna break down what the shamanic motherwort experience is and what the shamanic blue lotus experience is. But before I break down the actual experiences of what happens, I just kind of wanted to break this down real quick because people can take a psychedelic and not have a shamanic experience, right? To have a shamanic experience, the first step is intention. That your intention with using whatever substance or plant or whatever you're using needs to be the intention to have a shamanic experience. So, because some people just go in to have fun, and that's fine. They may hang out with their friends, and that's fine. But that's not necessarily a shamanic experience. The second part is the dose. It has to be no, I guess not every psychedelic shamanic experience needs to be a heroic dose. But with a lot of the plants and herbs, it's like the heroic dose of them is what can really cause the shamanic experience. So, with psychedelics, let's say you take 4 grams of mushrooms and you take them shamanically, you put a blindfold on, even five. I mean, I said four, but like you could do 4 or 5 grams of mushrooms, put a blindfold on, and have a spiritual shamanic experience, right? And it's this thing. We call it the heroic dose with psychedelics, right? So I went on a shamanic thing with Hawaiian baby woodrose seeds. So for me, it's 10 seeds. Like 10 seeds is the shamanic heroic dose, which then pushes me into the experience. Like, I look at it like these heroic doses are the doses that allow you to be in contact with the spirit of the plant or whatever you're using. So, like, and now this all sounds crazy, but like, I genuinely just practice modern shamanism. So, like, I just really want to break this down because I was talking to my friend earlier because, my friends they want me to trip with them, kind of often. Like, you know, they're tripping again in January and they wanted me to trip with them. And, I just don't know because I only do the things that I feel called to, like the shamanic calling, like what I feel a pull towards. And right now in my life, I feel a pull back towards the plants and herbs because I was telling my friend today that like Blue Lotus, the shamanic Blue Lotus experience or the shamanic Motherwort experience gives me and teaches me something that psychedelics can't teach me. Like it's something that psychedelics can't give me. You could do the psychedelic 1,000 times. You'll never get what the Blue Lotus has to teach. You'll never get what Motherwort has to teach. You'll never get what Wild Daga has to teach. You'll never get, like, I don't know how to explain it, but these things have something different to teach. Like, so real quick, I guess I'll real quick. It's fun. I guess I'll get into the trying to explain the Motherwort, right? So the shamanic Motherwort experience. So it's like at low doses, Motherwort is just calming, comforting. It gets a slight tingle feeling, but it's not. But that's really it. The shamanic dose is, now I don't exactly know the dose because, like I said, this Motherwort I have right now is much weaker than Motherwort I've had in the past. Um, so usually it's like, so I can't exactly tell you the dose, but I'm just going to tell you it's much higher than a high dose, and I call it the shamanic dose. And I only do shamanic doses with plants that I've researched and I know that are safe enough to take at high doses, right? So I first and foremost I make sure that I'm safe at taking it at these high doses, because some of the effects that can happen at these high doses, it's just good to be prepared and to know that no matter what you feel like, no matter what, like, you're not gonna die. You might think you're dead or something, because that's a funny thing about this thing. So I talk about Motherwort. Anyone who's ever tried it, they kind of just blow it off because this shamanic thing is different. So I'll take the I'll take the Motherwort with the intention to take it shamanically, to have this experience and to be in this experience for 4 to 5 hours. So take the Motherwort, and then 30 minutes after I take it, I just hit some weed, just one nice hit of cannabis. And it's like that kind of synergizes well with it, like before the Motherwort fully kicks in. So then I'm slightly high, right? Slightly high, about 30 minutes into it. Then about an hour and 10 minutes into it, the experience fully begins. And I'll get like I have this rain stick that's like that I use as a shaker, or you can have like one of those shaker things, and I'll sit there because at this time the Motherwort is starting to kick in, and it's a high enough dose where it's like you have to fight the sleep. So I'll sit there shaking the rain stick, and basically only shaking the rain stick or the shaker, whatever you have, to keep myself awake. So it's keeping yourself awake, because if you fall asleep, you'll end up missing the thing. So keep yourself awake by shaking the rain stick or shaking whatever shaker you have. And as I'm shaking it, now I have music playing, like electronic, digital electronic music. Most of the time it's music with no words in it. So it's just electronic music, and I'm shaking the shaker to the beat of the music, and as I'm doing it, like it looks like I'm almost starting to doze off, but I'm keeping myself awake, shaking the shaker. And as I do this, now this is a repeatable thing that's happened on many occasions, right? As I'm doing this, I'll have flashes, like I call them Motherwort flashes, because now this is the thing that I don't know. I don't know if these flashes are an actual effect of the molecules that's in Motherwort, or if this is just an effect from the fact that while I'm in the state of shaking the rain stick, I'm basically dozing. Like I'm half in this world. Like it's like going in and out of consciousness. Like I'm really forcing myself to stay awake by shaking the stick, but yet it's like I'm in this state where I'll have flashes, and it's at first I thought maybe it's just dreams or like the whole sleep thing, but it's like this repeatable thing where the flashes will flash, and it's dreams like I'll see flashes of human things like Earth, and like it reminds me of dreams, but they're just flashing, and like I'm basically watching it, so it's like watching someone flip through fast through a television, going through all the stations really fast. That's what it's like. So as I'm shaking it, whatever, this happens. Now I don't know exactly when. I don't know if it's 2 hours into it or whatever. But eventually, it's like I can stop shaking the rain stick, and it's like it's like I don't have to fight the sleep necessarily. Um, so then I'm in this state. Now, with a really high dose, so there's a shamanic dose, and then there's even a little higher than that, which then causes a slight delirium of the mind. And I say delirium, and I thought it was just me, right? I thought I was just crazy, or maybe it's just me, or whatever. But doing research on Motherwort, the only like spiritual usages of it that I could find was the pagans, and how they used it for like spell protection, that it helped protect them from other people's spells, or they used it for astral projection, or astral projection like things or whatever, as well as as well as it said something about delirium. Okay, now when I read that, I was like, oh my god, that's what that was. Because I had this wild shamanic, motherwort experience where I was in it. My girl was at work, and I'm sitting there shaking the rain stick. And, that's after I get done shaking the rain stick, I get up out of it, and it's like, I'm almost confused. I'm almost whatever. Because I started walking around. And as I was walking around, I thought to myself that I was still laying on the ground, and that I was just a ghost walking around. Now, it's funny saying that, but it was a dead ass real thought that I had. This is what made it a delirium moment. It, because I was delirious because it was truly what I thought. It was a real question. I wonder if I'm just dead and I'm walking around, because time starts to feel off. It starts to feel like 1 hour feels like much longer than 1 hour. So you're in this experience, you're in this thing, and it's this experience. And it's like that experience teaches me something much different than I could learn from the psychedelic experience. There's times in the motherwort experience, you'll just lay on the ground, staring at the ceiling, and it does almost feel like you're astral projecting, or something like that, because I would have the experience of laying on the floor, staring at the ceiling, but have the experience as if I'm close to the ceiling, I'm on the floor, but yet the ceiling seems like I'm staring directly above it, like it's right in front of my face. Um, so those are moments, and then I would see almost like cloud or ghostly, or some type of visuals, or it was just, it's interesting. There's something to it that is more than just the calming thing once you push it over the edge into the shamanic experience. So with Blue Lotus, right, the shamanic Blue Lotus experience, it's this thing where you take a high enough dose, and then it pushes you over the thing, right? So I've done it in this exact chair. So I would lay back just like that, right? But I'm playing music. Music's playing, same thing, electronic, digital music or whatever. And it's the Lotus will make you meditate, or I'll be sitting here, and it's not like it forces you to lay back and close your eyes. It's that the euphoria, you start to feel euphoria in your body, and when you close your eyes, that euphoria gets stronger. So it's and now this is a repeatable thing that's happened. That's why I call it the shamanic experience, because it's something that is able to be repeated if you take that high enough dose. So it's I'll lay back, and it's I want to close my eyes, because when I close my eyes, the euphoria is stronger. So it's I'll want to close my eyes, and then I'll want to lay back, and then it's you enter into this Zen meditative state where with the Lotus, you don't have to fight to stay awake, because the Lotus, it seems like it puts you in this meditative state, but at the same time it's acting like a stimulant where you could keep yourself, I've kept myself up all night with Lotus. Now what the downfall is, it only lasts about an hour to an hour and a half. this meditative state thing only lasts an hour. So when you enter it, it only lasts an hour. So you're in this meditative state for an hour, and it's like this Zen state. Cause like, I've trained myself how to like silence my mind. I've worked on like different mental practices and things like that. But the Lotus will push you to silence the mind. Like, if you're someone that doesn't know how to silence your mind, if you entered this shamanic state with Blue Lotus, it would then, your mind is silent. You're in this Zen state. You're laying back. And like I said, you're not forced to close your eyes, but it makes it so you want to because the euphoria feels stronger with the eyes closed. So in this state, it's like a euphoric, um, like Zen meditative state. And there might be slight visuals. Like it's hard to explain. I swear to God, in one of those shamanic states, like that thing with the Blue Lotus, it's like I seen a a colorful cube. In the cube, just flashed like moved, kind of like a shooting star, but slow, and like but it was a cube and it was colorful. Now I haven't done a psychedelic in like a month, over a month, so I was like, oh, maybe I'm just whatever, but like, it kind of happened again, but I never seen anything that vivid again. But it's just, it's just interesting. So, I guess what I'm saying is that these shamanic experiences that I can have with these tools, right, with these things, it's like in the Western world, we just chopped it down to the psychedelic experience, not realizing that every single shamanic tool, like every single master plant, has something to teach. And this is why, I say I practice modern shamanism. I made a post not too long ago talking about like, Mark Dream's master plants or whatever. But it's just real. Like I wanted to make a list of the plants that I was able to explore with shamanically. That like there are plants that have just helped me health wise. Like I take lion's mane mushroom extract every day, and that just helps me mentally. But like it's not necessarily shamanic. I'm not taking that and having a shamanic experience. But with the Blue Lotus experience, I never realized how much I just needed to zen the fuck out. Like, with the shamanic motherwort experience, I never realized how much I just need to calm the fuck down. Like, I'm hard on myself because, like, I'm working hard and, I'm trying to do the thing I'm trying to do and I want to do this thing with my life and all this other shit and I got so much responsibility and it's like, the motherwort teaches me that comfort's not always a bad thing. They say comfort's a dream killer, and that's kind of true, but comfort's okay in moderation, right? Everything's okay in moderation, but it's this thing where you gotta know what you need. And I know what I need. Like, I've had these thoughts of like, I've tried 30 different plants and herbs, right? But I only explored deeply with a handful of them. I wonder what other ones have to teach me. Like, there's this plant I tried called Mucuna brava. I think it's Mucuna bravo or brava. Um, the experience felt like a mushroom come up. Like that's just what the experience of that plant felt like, and that was at low to moderate doses. So I question, like, one, I don't know if it's safe enough to take at high doses, so like I'm not gonna go there yet, but like it's just this question of what can that teach me? Like if the Lotus reminded me that I need to focus more in the Zen state, like these plants and herbs kind of help me more with my physical life. Like if you can walk through life in a Zen state or try to practice that thing, it'll help you tremendously in life, right? Like learning how to love yourself. And it's funny that it's like I learned these things or was reminded of these things from these plants, right? Reminded to love myself from the Motherwort. Reminded to meditate from the Lotus. Reminded that not everything can be learned from one thing. Like the psychedelics are not the answer, right? They're one part of an ancient whole practice, right? Like shamanism was an ancient whole practice. It was whole. But then we break it down into parts and we use its parts. So then now people are just going down to drink ayahuasca with a shaman when it used to be you go to the shaman, he takes the ayahuasca, or maybe you do too. But then the shaman will say, for the next 2 weeks, maybe, take this plant, and then after that's done, you take this plant, or like for the next 6 months, you take this one plant, or for the next 2 weeks, you take this one plant, and you get to know this one plant. Like, there's a different thing, and we're just taking parts and we're missing the whole. That's why now it's up to us to come up with our own practices that work for us. So it's like, as I'm going down these journeys and exploring with these plants and herbs, I'm just building relationships with the plants and the things that work for me. So like, these things benefit me and they give me what I need. So it's like, I don't know. I guess I just wanted to talk about this and like kind of try to explain that, it's not just, to me, it's not just about the psychedelic experience. It's about the shamanic experience. And with these master plants, I can have shamanic experiences and learn something that the psychedelics can't teach me because these other plants have something that the psychedelics don't.